Hello guys, today I'll be demonstrating on how to configure a Riverbed steelhead appliance, that is WAN optimization solution. So let's jump into the CLI. So what is Riverbed steelhead? It's a WAN optimization solution. It's a symmetric solution, that is if you have a branch office in say India and you have a branch office, another branch or a head office in US, so you need to have one at both ends, the appliance at both ends. So let's come back to what is WAN optimization. WAN optimization is nothing but WAN acceleration, as many of you might know. Basically what it does is it's a technique or a technology used to maximize the efficiency of data flow across the wide area network. So in enterprise WAN, the goal of optimization is to increase the speed of accessing a critical application. So basically to decrease the latency and to increase the bandwidth. So here, as you can see, I'm connected through RDP to the Riverbed lab to demonstrate steelhead. So let's go forward with the scenario. Say we have a server that is N31 here. So we'll name this as MSRIT, and we have one more branch office, say N21, which is located in San Francisco. Okay, so let's start with the configuration here. So admin name, password. So once we are logged in, this is the default name given to the appliance, the Riverbed box. So let's go into the enable mode and jump into configuration terminal. So Steelhead provides a very easy way to set up the IP addresses, host name, password, and many more. So using configuration jumpstart, we'll be given this configuration wizard. So let's go in and answer each and every question here. Using DHCP on primary interface. So we don't require DHCP on primary interface of the Riverbed. DHCP, as you know, dynamically allocates IP addresses. We want a fixed IP address, so we'll say no. Moving on, we have primary IP address. So primary IP address, let's just give it 10.1.30.20. Okay, so as you can see, I've given 202. I would like to change it, but let's see how it goes. Mask. So default gateway, so let's give the default gateway as 10.1.31.1. As you can see at step 3, I've made a mistake, and later on we'll be correcting that. I'll show you how to do that. Now primary DNS server, we'll keep it default, domain name default, admin password default. Okay, notification email address default. So if we have a primary interface speed, so we can fill in over here. So many companies have they select their own speeds and own duplex lines. Here we have in-path configuration. So what is in-path configuration? In-path interface, that is in Riverbed appliance we have a LAN port and a WAN port. Both the ports are bridged together and they are known as in-path interface. We give in-path IP address to this interface so that it can communicate with the other Riverbed box which is located at the other location. So let's just give it in the range of 10.1.31. Five 0. default gateway will be the same network. Okay, now it's asking for the in-path LAN interface speed. Auto. Now if we have entered any wrong value, we can go ahead and change that. So here I can put the choice as 3, as I have made a mistake over here. So right now I can change it 10.1.31.20. okay, so rest all remains the same. Enter. So the configurations have been saved now, and as you can see, we have our Riverbed box host name changed to MSR80. Now let's go ahead and restart all our services. This does not restart the appliance, but the services. Okay, so this is done. So now we'll go ahead and check if it can ping our in-path IP address. In-paths. So this I is nothing but interface. So you can have an auxiliary interface, you can have primary interface. In this case we're choosing in-path .31.1. So as you can see, we're getting a reply back, acknowledgement, it's pinging. Okay, so let's move on and we'll check if the network settings that we have configured is correct or no. Show interface primary brief. So primary port is up, and the IP address that we had given is here, netmask. Okay, now let's check for the auxiliary port. Okay, so auxiliary port is also up. As we're using the virtual machine over here, so it's already configured to 10.99.31.20. Okay, so let's give our Riverbed box the time so that any updates required can be collected fast. Block zone. Okay, so let's check the time now. So this is the time right now. I've given as US because our head office is in US. Okay, so now we have finished CLI configuration. Now we can jump into the web UI. Easy way to have any configuration changes. Let's choose our steelhead here. So as you can see, we have logged in through our aux interface IP address and the host name. Now let's give admin, and password will be password. Oops. Okay, so now we are onto the dashboard. So as you can see here, we have the firmware version. We are running the virtual CX steelhead appliance. This is the primary IP address over here, and we have the system health. So we have 3 categories, that is healthy, degraded and critical. We won't have any optimization in critical state, so we need to first sort out all the issues and make the appliance healthy. Let's jump into the alarm status. So here we'll find if there is any anomalies, any issues. So all the status and everything is okay. It's very important for a steelhead to be healthy for a good optimization. Okay, so we'll go ahead and check for the licenses. So here we have different licenses for each feature. So for the algorithm scalable data referencing, so where all the data are compressed and sent, so that I'll be explaining in a while. We have Microsoft Exchange license, cryptographic license for encrypted data. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check. To go ahead to a command prompt, and here we'll have, let's ping to our server. So my server IP address is 10.1.31.130, and as you can see it pings, so the server is reachable. Now let's go ahead and make a common directory. So from my steelhead in San Francisco to MSRAT, that is this steelhead, let's create a network directory, a shareable folder. So for that, let's type in net use. My server IP is 10.1.31.130. Let's make it public so I can, it's easily accessible. Okay, username, let's give it lab student, and password my e lab. Okay, so it's successful. Let's go ahead and check if we have the folder. So as you can see, we have the folder over here. Okay, so that is done. Now we'll go ahead and check if this Riverbed is able to see our San Francisco Riverbed. Optimization pairs. So here it is, N21 SH with IP address, version and all the licenses. So that is working fine as well. So it can detect the other Riverbed. Now let's make the first transfer. So let's go ahead into this presentation. So when I send this one PPT from my server to my San Francisco head office, the transfer, how much time it takes, depends on how big the file is. So right now, the first time when I'm sending the file or when I'm copying the file from my server to my San Francisco head office, it's known as a cold transfer. And as you can see, it's taking a long time. That was about 10 seconds. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and delete this. Yes. Now we'll send a second time. As you can see, it had copied instantaneously. That is because of the warm transfer. We'll close this. Now let's go ahead and check how much of optimization has happened. Reports, network, traffic summary. So as you can see, the LAN data is larger than the WAN data, and I've used CIFS protocol to transfer. That is 445 port number. Reduction is 54.16%. So I've copied 26.6 MB file on my LAN, but on my WAN it's just copied 12.2 MB. So let's go ahead and check our current connection, ports. As you can see here also, the IP address of my source port to my server on the port number 445, the amount of data on my LAN versus the amount of data on my WAN, the reduction. So this way the latency is reduced and the bandwidth is increased. Here's the graph. Now let's go ahead and use a different protocol, say HTTP. So let's do 10.1.130. Okay, so this is my server. So let's save this file. Okay. Before doing that, let's delete this. Save it to desktop. And pay attention how fast this transfer happens, and it's already saved. So there is no need of any, it doesn't depend on any protocols. It works on all the protocols. Riverbed only analyzes the content and not the protocol. Now let's go ahead and change some files over here. Let's delete some slides and check. So just delete this and save as. We'll make this as /new 2 and save it. Okay, that is saved. Now let's go ahead and copy that new file into the server. So we'll just open the file, presentations. Okay, so now I'll transfer this to my server. So again it took time, that is because I have made few changes and it's a new file to the Riverbed, so it only compresses the new content and not the whole file. Let's go ahead and check the report. Reports, current connection. %. So the total LAN, memory and the WAN is pretty much half of it, 4 times actually. Now let's check on traffic summary. So as you can see here, we have HTTP also here now, that is 99.43% of reduction. We had removed few slides, so the memory is gone down on LAN, but on WAN it's pretty much only in KBs. So this is WAN optimization, how to configure and how to transfer files. Thank you.